Good morning everyone. Today we're in Barangay West Crame with IAC and San Juan traffic enforcement, and those guys in the white shirts that say no parking, they're from the barangay. I don't know if they're all barangay officials or some of them are volunteers. Anyway, today we'll be doing a clearing operation, and let's go. And I just verified now there are 4 members of the barangay who've been deputized by the city to issue tickets, so that's good to know. So they're now on road 2. The most obvious immediate obstruction would be the tricycle, motorcycle, and that car parked over there. This one here looks like a pretty fresh construction, and you can see the sidewalks disappeared. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do anything about that today. This man over here in the black jacket is the action officer for MMDA in San Juan, and he was saying that this should really be removed because it lifts up over the sidewalk. They do have a truck with them, I think Senro maybe, so they will be removing that. Over here is what I assume is a clothes rack for drying clothes, but you can see obviously sidewalk completely overtaken. Same with the chairs over there, so I assume that's something they'll be removing. I have to admit, so far it seems like the barangay could have just done this themselves. Maybe they don't need to bring in someone like IAC, but let's see how the operation plays out. Maybe they'll play a more important role later, but so far I feel like this is something the barangay could have dealt with. These are pretty small streets. This little wall here is an example of another obstruction that should be removed. It also shows you how wide the sidewalk used to be and then how wide it is now. And in fact there's another of those little walls over here, but I think you could just kick that down. Generally construction is very poor. And this is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Out on the street they have a fire extinguisher ready for anyone to use, along with hard hat. Wow, very good. And just below you'll see the hydrant. Over here you'll see a tiny bit of sidewalk remaining, but when you get this far it's been fully occupied by this property. And these kind of obstructions are very difficult to remove, just because the sheer scale of it would be very difficult. Of course, in an ideal world, the barangay wouldn't let people build over the sidewalk in the first place, and just like in other areas, they're bringing down tarpaulins that are often used to obscure or obstruct the sidewalk, and they'll bring that down, put it on the back of the truck. You'll see they're also confiscating the parking posts that people put out to reserve parking. It's actually no parking anytime, so there's no need for them to be here. And someone from the barangay just advised these people to move their cars, otherwise they're going to be ticketed. You can see there should actually be a sidewalk here, but it's long gone. It's been converted into a private parking area. That's a public toilet, like a urinal on the sidewalk, and they're trying to bring it down. If you go just further along from the operation, you'll see a lot of residents rushing to take their obstructions off the sidewalk and into the house to avoid confiscation. Hopefully, once everyone leaves, the barangay will maintain this. Those drivers tried to leave, but 2 MMDA came in, asked for the license, and they're issuing tickets. Over here you'll see some guys working to take this oven off the sidewalk. It's a very common thing, but obviously not allowed, so it's being removed now. And over here there are some residents working on taking down this sheet metal. They used it as a wall on the sidewalk, I guess to create a divider between their neighbors. There's not much of a sidewalk left, to be honest, but I guess they'll do what they can to try and remove obstructions. And over here they're issuing a ticket to this one for illegal parking. So apparently with this one they're giving them the option to self-demolish this. I doubt it will happen based on previous experiences, but maybe. Of course the problem is any pedestrian walking this way will walk straight into that plank, be obstructed. All around this barangay are piles of wood and things like that. I have a feeling that maybe they did a cleanup before today, because why are there so many piles of these materials everywhere? Over here you'll see a resident self-dismantling a clothes dryer. There's no more sidewalks basically. They've all been converted into either flower boxes or storage or extensions. There's a tiny little bit over there, but pretty much sidewalks are gone. The thing is, they can remove this little extension over here, but what do you do when you get to something like this, where the sidewalk disappears and then you have this whole building here? The barangay is speaking to residents now about this vehicle. They consider it as illegally parked, but I'm not sure if they're going to issue a ticket. Let's wait and see what happens. It looks like they're moving on, so I guess no ticket. Maybe these guys don't have ticket books. Not all of them do. It's been around 10 minutes and now the MMDA pulled up and they'll be the ones to ticket. This is unattended illegal parking, 2,000 peso. We found another super black cat, very cute.
Oh, nanay niya. Mother.
Ah, that's the mother.
Yes, and my son.
They just stopped this truck here. There's no license plate on the front or the back, and the driver said he only has a student permit, no driver's license. I'm guessing it's not registered since it doesn't have license plates or conduction stickers. And this one here was stopped because the driver wasn't wearing his seatbelt. So you see one of the Coast Guard guys under I Act writing out the ticket. They are deputized by OTO.